optimism guru, ready to spread a little daily cheer in your world. First, we must cover the fabulous drink that I'm drinking, and it feels a little blasphemous to be drinking this fabulous drink out of my fancy, beautiful, lovely ceramic Starbucks cup, but it is an ALDI find, and it is Friendly Farms iced coffee, sweet and creamy, and it is phenomenal. It is so good, dangerously good, really, and I'm a little bit in love with this. So if you love to shop at ALDI and are budget conscious like I am as far as groceries go, and you don't necessarily want to clip every coupon that ever comes to you, you just want to get a good price to begin with, and you shop at ALDI, and you like coffee, try it. You'll not regret it. It's so good. It's so good. Look at how good it is. Okay, next, a book. This is next on my reading list. It is a book club book that I am reading with a group of women from my church, Ordinary Grace by William Kent Krueger. The cover little blurb says, a pitch perfect, wonderfully evocative examination of violent loss. I loved this book. That's what it says. So I'm super excited to bust into this. I will let you know if I absolutely love it. And then, as usual, I will pass it on to a girlfriend of mine because we share books whenever we have them. So I'm excited about that. Now, next on my list, I have a little fun thing to share with you. And I wanted to list my top favorite places that I have ever lived, because my father was in the jewelry industry. He had one career in the jewelry industry, and then he had a second career in law enforcement. And then as he was in law enforcement, he started the business that we run now that I designed for. And so it's a third career that overlaps, but also blended the first two. So the first career was a 16-year career as an executive in the jewelry industry. And he was vice president of Tiffany's and all of this, blah, blah, blah. The point being, we moved all over the place, all of the time. When I was in second grade, I actually had 3 different second grades in 3 different states, and it was all in the same school year. It was not because I repeated. It was 1 year, 3 different states, 3 different schools. Moving a lot is just what I do, and I'm okay with it. And I wouldn't have traded my childhood and all of the different places that we live for anything, but certainly there are places among all of the places that I have lived and in all of the states that I have enjoyed community in, there are favorites and there are standouts, so I want to share those. It will come as no surprise to anyone who watches this channel or who knows me in any capacity that Madison, Wisconsin is number 1 on my list. Now, technically, I lived in a suburb of Madison. I lived just south of the city proper by 7 miles in Oregon, Wisconsin, which is just a charming, charming little Mayberry of a town that I am in love with. But we're going to stick to Madison and its all-encompassing region for the sake of my list today. It has so many great opportunities for cultural events. It's wonderful because Madison is the state capital of Wisconsin. It's wonderful because there is a major university there, and it's really the primary university of the state. And it's wonderful because it has everything you could possibly want to see or do or adventure. It has beautiful snow. It has gorgeous, gorgeous summers that don't get too hot. And it is just fabulous all the way around. I loved the people of the Midwest. I loved the vibe. I loved the cheese. I loved that you could literally have beer or wine in public on the on the Capitol Square lawn and drink and have a lovely time with your friends. There were so many wonderful things about living in Madison and that region that I just adored, and that again comes as no surprise. Number 2 on my list is Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And we actually lived there 2 different times. Now, both of the times, there's a caveat that goes with this one. Both of the times that my family lived there, I was very young. So I have a very youthful nostalgia about living in Philly. But what I love is there's no escaping the culture that accompanies a city of such historic significance in our country than cities like Philadelphia, Boston. These places that have been cities for as long as history books have been written about our country. It's just incredible. It's incredible to live in a city with so much rich history and culture. So that is just a huge thing for me. There is so much to do. There are so many amazing museums and theater productions, and it's a train ride from all kinds of other great places. We used to ride into New York City, and there's just so much opportunity to see and do and experience in Philly. And so I don't know that I would live there now, but I think if I could afford to, I really would. It is just fabulous. It's just fabulous. So number 2 on my list is Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Number 3 is Dallas-Fort Worth, Texas. So I have lived in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex region several different times throughout my life, from when I was a child to as an adult. Now I live on the very outskirts. I can't really be counted as DFW, but it is literally 20 minutes up the road, and that is perfect for me because I live in a charming lakeside city right now that allows me to have a straight shot into the city because I love to go into the city. Right now my obsession is Fort Worth. When I was younger, my obsession was Dallas. I just love that anything I could possibly want to see or do is right up the street from me, and it is just a world of opportunity. Again, cultural events, so many wonderful museums and works of art and sculpture gardens and opportunities for activities to see and do and experience, and groups of people from every walk of life that you could possibly imagine, and theater events and symphony events and opera events and dance events. You name it, we have it covered in DFW, and I just love it. I love that, as you can see, cultural events are huge on my list. Opportunities to be out and be active year-round are really important to me. School systems, school districts are very important to me in choosing where I actually live, but that is what I love about where I'm living right now, is that I am living in a wonderful, powerful, enriching school system for the sake of my children, and yet I am still able to experience all that DFW has to offer. So that is my list of the top 3 favorite places that I have ever lived. I would love to know your top 3 favorites. If you have been like me or like our family and moved quite a bit, where have been the favorite places that you have lived? I would love to hear about it. If you are the furthest reaches from that and have essentially grown up and possibly even still live in the same town in which you were raised or very near vicinity, I kind of like those stories too. So I would love to hear what that's about. How does that work? And please explain to me, because that just boggles my mind. That is so far from the reaches of my understanding. And So I love to hear those kinds of stories also. Now, I want to share one last little bit of tidbit here. I want to encourage you to set goals. And as we set those goals, I want to encourage you to write down your goals. Get those goals out of the trap of your mind and onto paper. Whether you put them up on a wall where you can see them all the time, which is something I really encourage doing, whether it be, where you've got photos or, things posted and pasted and, collaged all together to where you can see it on like a dream board, or whether you just have a list of your goals or a big Sharpie marker and big letters on a piece of paper that you just pin to the wall. Whatever it is, write down your goals. Put those goals on paper before you. The simple act of writing out your goals when you have them, it works magic in your head, and there's something to be said for the follow through that comes from goals that we put enough effort into to write them down, to put them in front of us at all the time, and are more likely to then achieve those goals in the long run. So I wanted to share one little quote along these lines from a great book, which was, the title of the book is Yes! Exclamation point, which, drew me to it right away. 50 Scientifically Proven Ways to Be Persuasive by Goldstein, Martin, and Cialdini. And I will put a link to that in the description box down below. And this quote reads, "Commitments that are made actively have more staying power than those that are made passively." So this is a way, by making a goal and by writing it down, it takes it from a passive goal that is just something that you're thinking, wouldn't that be lovely? And then you do absolutely nothing with it, to making it an active goal that you are actively involved in achieving. So make these goals, put them in front of you to where you see them all of the time. Also, having nothing to do with that and everything to do with one more thing that I just thought of, I want to be sure and share with you guys. I am now embarking on daily flash briefings. So really quick tidbits of fire up information that I want to use to just encourage you and motivate you every single day. I am putting them on Alexa, I am putting them on Google Home, I am putting them on Musical.ly, and I am putting them on Instagram. So any of those places that you would like to follow me, the Alexa and the Google Home thing is completely new territory to me, so I am super excited to add a little daily tidbit of information and encouragement where you can clue into your optimism guru, you can clue into personal image design, which is what I am just passionate and excited about, and you can get a little daily dose of Marilyn in 1-minute segments every single morning. So I'm going to link those down below. Check those out if you would. I would love it if you subscribed, if you're on any of those platforms. And also, I am digging Twitter again lately, and I've been using it off and on since like, 09, 07, whenever it is that it came out. And yet, I am fired up about being in conversation on Twitter. It is just such a great conversational resource and platform for truly being social out on media. It's not a one-way street like so many of these are. So I appreciate if you are on Twitter, strike up a conversation with me. I will love it. I will just love it. So I've got really good creamy coffee. I've got a book that I'm really excited to try. I've got inspiration and motivation getting you to put your goals down on paper. I have the top 3 places that I've ever lived. And I have all of these different platforms that I want to start these flash briefings. And I am super, super duper pumped about them. So please check those out. I thank you for your encouraging comments, for your messages, for your likes, for your subscribes, for your shares, and I thank you for tuning in each and every day for daily cheer and whatever other kind of content to motivate, inspire, and encourage you that I come up with. So thank you for sticking it out with me. I really appreciate it. Until I see you again, I hope that you are making it a great day.